hello everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of the IPL build-up hosted by the Third Man Cricket Show. And yes, yesterday was actually dominated by an army of the pink that is called as the Halla Bolami. Well, today it's gonna be no less than that because the Lions from Punjab, the army of the Punjab Kings are here, and we are joined by a very special guest in Yuvraj Nanda. I think we are so grateful to have such a talented person with us. And before I let Yuvraj speak, let me just tell you about himself. So, before the age of 18, he actually managed to do something for the team that he loves and contributed to the sports industry that we all love and aspire to have a career in. And he started off his own fan page for the team that is called as the Punjab Kings Fans Official, also previously known as the Lions Den. So really happy to have you on the show, Yuvraj. So I think you can just introduce about yourself and have a little bit of discussion about your initiative that you took, and we will be glad to hear about it.
Well, Sanchit, thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction of mine. Before I start off, I'd like to thank everyone for having me here on the Third Man Cricket Show. Representing your franchise and the entire fan club among panelists with such smart knowledge about the sport as well as the league is truly an honor. So, yeah, I am Yuvraj Nanda, the founder of the Lions Den, which is also the official fan club of Punjab Kings all across the globe. And I started it off before the commencement of IPL 2020. The very first season, we grew to a family of 5,000 followers on Instagram, and by now I'm like close to 7,000 across social media. And passion and the zeal I've put in to the work for the love of my franchise. That's what I do.
Definitely, yes. I think there was a little bit of an internet issue, but it's okay. I mean, we got the basic gist, and I think that's very inspirational that you managed to do this at such an age. And I think it's always good for anyone when you contribute to the team that you love and support. So I think that's really commendable for you to start off a fan page on your own and handling it. I think we at Third Man Cricket Show know it how difficult and challenging it is to keep up with the latest news and trends while handling a page like yours. So I think to handle it on your own, I think it's really commendable. So before I think the screen is stuck at your end. So let me just introduce the Third Man Cricket Show team itself. So this is the debut show for Mohit also. So Mohit Baria is joining in for the first time on the Third Man Cricket Show. So I think it's a debut
Thank
for
you
him
so
as
much.
well.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Yes, looking forward to it itself. And as you know, Ankur is a very well-known personality when it comes to Punjab Kings and even India for that matter nowadays. So it's good to have Ankur as well, and we hope to see you speaking a little bit of Punjabi or on the show itself. I think that would be really entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, pakka.
Yes. So I think his screen is stuck. So no worries. No worries, actually. So let us now discuss about Punjab Kings on our own before we have Yuvraj back with us. So we'll display the points table firstly. So as we know that Punjab Kings is actually placed sixth on the points table, and it may not be a season that they would have wanted so far for them. But you know that it's never too late with Punjab Kings, and you know how much that they want to see their team actually coming back from whatever they can. And it almost happened in the last season. They almost made it through to the playoffs, but it wasn't to be. So have never you can never discount Punjab Kings to come back into the tournament. So I think that will be the thing to watch out for. So I think till the time Yuvraj is actually back on the show. So let us have yeah, so Yuvraj is back perfectly on time. So yeah,
Sorry for
no
technical
worries. No worries, it's okay. So we were just discussing about Punjab Kings and their form in the first leg of the IPL so far, and to be very honest, it wasn't a season that you guys would have wanted it to be so far.
Yeah.
So If you could just narrate your thoughts on your views on how did your team fare in the first half of the season.
I believe there were two core reasons behind our downfall in the very first half. Unlike other seasons, we are usually known for starting off well and finishing poor. But this season was a different story. We started off poor, and then let's hope it's the other way around in the second half. But
Fingers crossed.
there were the two core reasons behind such poor performances. Was that first was decision making from the management. Like there was such absurd decisions. One of them being like giving Prab Simran being the prior importance as the opener ahead of Chris Gale in our last game. So Chris Gale not opening in any of the games has been one of the reasons. The second reason is the intent, I believe. I have not yet seen the hunger for victory in every time like they step up. Something we see in Mumbai Indians, like they definitely want those 2 points every time they step out to the field, and I think that's the reason they are the most successful franchise of all time. So I do not see that zeal, that hunger in themselves until now, and this is mostly happening since 2019. So I think these two are the reasons behind why we always fall short of 2 points or 4 points from qualifications, despite playing entertaining cricket. But yeah, that's my point about it.
Definitely, yes. And I think whenever you talk about Punjab Kings, there is always one question that will always be asked about it. And as you can see, lots of questions about Chris Gale for that matter. So let me just go a little bit of off topic, Yuvraj. So totally from the fans' point of view, when Punjab Kings actually made that late bid for Chris Gale in that auction, what were the initial reactions when you finally got Chris Gale in your team? Like, how did the Punjab fans actually react when you got Chris Gale?
Honestly, I was not watching the second day of the auction when we brought him in. I was somewhere out and I just checked my scroll through my Facebook, and Punjab, the then Kings 11 Punjab posted the graphics about Gale coming into our side, and I was truly very, very happy because I knew that he did not have a season which was up to the mark in 2017 for RCB, and that is completely understandable. People have dark phases, but we cannot rule them out. Chris Gale has been like an absolute epitome of what we consider a perfect T20 batsman. So we cannot rule him out even if he has 50 years of his age. He's so strong
Exactly.
that I do not rule him out at any point of the day. So I was very happy when we bought him in, and seeing him open with KL Rahul in 2018, that season really hurts because of the way we started off, and then uh, such an unexpected downfall. So it was very, very good old days when 2018 first half, and I was very happy with having Gale in our side, honestly.
Yes, to be very honest, I can sympathize about having a good start in a tournament and then finding your way to
Yeah.
fall apart. I mean, it has always been the story of my team, Rajasthan Royals, in the IPL. So I think to that extent, I think we are all together. So I think before I let Ankur ask his question in Punjabi, because as we want to remind everyone, Ankur is also a local boy and he speaks a little bit of Punjabi himself. So I think we would definitely want to hear you both conversing in Punjabi, because I think that is the beauty of
Yeah, sure,
IPL.
sure.
Connects the bit of
Yeah.
cultures from all around the country, and that would be definitely the thing to watch out for. So before I let that happen, I want to talk about the recent rivalry with Rajasthan Royals that Punjab Kings or Kings 11 Punjab used to have. Right from that moment when Ashwin vacated Butler, things actually started to fall right into the place of building a huge rivalry, especially on social media platforms. So from the Punjab's point of view, I know that from Rajasthan Royals fans' point of view, we have a huge rivalry between the Punjabi fans. But I want to know your thoughts, like from the Punjab team point of view and the fans' point of view overall. What do you make of the rivalry, the recent rivalry with Rajasthan Royals?
Yeah, it's a lot of people might think the otherwise. People have their specific favorite rivalries in the IPL. But I wouldn't think twice if I have to say that Rajasthan versus Punjab has been my most favorite rivalry of all time. I truly enjoy the clashes, the kind of encounters we put up. This is quality cricket at its best. For some, like the Classico, of course, Chennai versus Mumbai is, of course, at another level. But if we have to talk about technical cricket, having close encounters with good finishes, Rajasthan versus Punjab Kings is like very very favorite and close to my heart.
Definitely, yes. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, you mentioned a little bit about the Classico, MI versus CSK, but this could be called as the Mancade Classico,
Yeah,
right? So I think that would be a good move. So if
iconic
anyone
moments.
at Star Sports, if anyone at Star Sport is watching this show, we have just given you a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying something, Yuvraj?
Yeah, I was saying that we've produced some iconic moments from the very beginning of the league, from the inception of the league until the current season. We've always produced iconic moments.
Definitely, yes. So now I'll let Ankur here ask you a little bit a question in Punjabi. I think that would be a great thing to watch out for. So Ankur, it is all your stage now.
ਹਾਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਜੇ ਉਹ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਜੋ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਜੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਲਈ ਮਕਰਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰੇ
ਜੇ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਡਾਵਿਡ ਮਲਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਈਕ ਰਿਮੂਵ ਕਰਕੇ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਏਡਨ ਮਾਰਕਰਮ ਲਾਣਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤੇ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਫੇਅਰ ਇਨਫ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ। ਬਟ ਜੇਕਰ ਬਾਕੀ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ, ਆਡਿਲ ਰਾਸ਼ਿਦ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਦੇ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ UAE ਦੀ ਐਮੀਰਾਤੀ ਪਿਚਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਰਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਟਰਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਵੀ ਬਿਸ਼ਨੋਈ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਿਆ, ਰਵੀ ਬਿਸ਼ਨੋਈ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵਿਕਟਸ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਟਰਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਟਰਨ ਰਵੀ ਬਿਸ਼ਨੋਈ ਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਏ ਐਮੀਰਾਤੀ ਪਿਚਸ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵੱਧ ਟਰਨ ਕਰਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਡਬਲ ਟ੍ਰਿਪਲ ਟਰਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਡਿਲ ਰਸ਼ੀਦ ਦੀ ਬੋਲਿੰਗ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੀ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਲਾਈਕ ਬਰਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਖਿਡਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ because he brings that slow left arm orthodox option ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਦਿਲ ਰਸ਼ੀਦ ਖਿਡਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬੈਟਿੰਗ ਆਪਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਜੇ ਜਾਰਡਨ ਖੇਡੂਗਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਬੈਟਿੰਗ ਡੈਪਥ ਵੀ ਵਧੂਗੀ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ
Brilliant,
ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ
brilliant.
ਕਿ ਜਾਰਡਨ ਰਾਸ਼ਿਦ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ ਡਾਊਨ ਦੀ ਆਰਡਰ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਲੇਅਰਸ ਨੇ ਕਾਉਂਟੀ ਕ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਖੇਡਿਆ ਆ ਕਾਉਂਟੀ ਕ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਪੋਰਟਸਮੈਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਆਫ देयर ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਤੇ ਕਾਉਂਟੀ ਪਲੇਅਰਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਡੈਪਥ ਆਊਗੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ
That's definitely. And I
yeah
think
एक yeah
so. I don't know a little bit. I don't know Punjabi to that extent, but I got the basic idea. Like, I think you both spoke really well, and it was pretty clear about what you were trying to
basic
say. And
idea. I wanted to simplify it. I want to simplify it, or else I could have like spoken more hardcore Punjabi, but I wanted everybody to understand it. That's why I put up some English and like
yeah, no problem, buddy. I think that's good. So yes, sir, we'll be coming to that topic. I think playing Adil Rashid or even Harpreet Brar as a leading spin. I think that would be a thing to watch out. We'll be discussing about the overall squad later in the show. But let us now talk about yes, sir. So let us now let Mohit here because he's also a debutant on the show. So we'll not let him be the shy person on the panel. So we'll let Mohit ask you a bit of question. I think so. Before I remind you all, Mohit is also pretty good analyst of the game itself. So I think he speaks really well and he knows his cricket really well. So I think Mohit, you can ask your question to Yuvraj if you want.
Yeah, sure. So, I basically I'm very afraid of that the death bowling woes that Punjab is having around in the last overs. So, what can they do different in the second leg? What do you feel? Because we are going for a lot of runs in the last overs. Was I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible. I think
Oh,
yeah.
there's some issue.
I think you are on mute, Yuvraj. I think we are not able to hear you, Yuvraj. Yeah, I think it's on mute. Wait.
It's still on mute.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a problem at his end. I think it's still on mute, Uraj. If possible, we can have this question maybe later in the segment. So let us now discuss about the squad that we talked about before the show. So as we know that Punjab Kings have made lots of new additions to their squad, overall squad, because of the replacement players and players being unavailable. So can we just have the full squad being displayed on our screen? Because I think there, yes. So as you can see, there is a lot of variety in terms of the Punjab Kings overall squad, and quite a some new faces as we can see in Adian Makram and even Adil Rashid, who I think will be playing his first ever IPL, and also an exciting prospect in Nathan Ellis. So till the time Yuvraj actually joins back, because as it is with Punjab Kings, they start off pretty slowly, but at the end they actually go at their pace. So hopefully we'll see that with Yuvraj's connection as well. But till the time actually Yuvraj comes back into onto the live, let us discuss about Punjab's squad overall, and we would also like all of you guys in the comments to know your. We would also like in you all in the comments to ask for your thoughts on the Punjab Kings squad. Who do you think will be the X factor in terms of Punjab Kings if they want to make it through to their playoffs? So I think that would be really good as well. So let us now discuss
Just
about.
to clear this, Sanchit, this Punjab team is the team is full of X Factor players only.
Yes, definitely. Yes, I mean you have seen that time and again with Punjab Kings, and they have always managed to surprise many teams and not just one team. I think it's like when you least expect them to do something, they manage to do the unthinkable. So you can never predict anything with Punjab Kings. So I think that's the thing to watch out for in the second half of the season. So we'll talk about that itself. So I think Yuvraj is still not here. So no worries. So yeah, I think he's on. Yeah, I think hopefully his connection is a little bit better than last time. You can hear us, Yuvraj?
Yes, I can. Can you?
Yes, yes, perfect,
Yes.
perfect. So we were just discussing about the overall score that Punjab Kings have actually, and we were just on the verge to discuss about the replacement players. So we have the replacement players on our screen, and we would like to know your thoughts about the replacement players. So obviously, David Malan was the late change actually made in the just yesterday. So he was deemed to be unavailable because him opting out of the season so late, and Punjab Kings brought in a good replacement in Adian Makram. So I would like to know your thoughts on the overall replacement changes that Punjab Kings had made. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm still not convinced with not utilizing David Malan properly in the very first phase. I think he was one of our X factors and could have contributed really well to some victories, some brilliant performances. But unfortunately, he was not given a chance ahead of Puran, who was not delivering at that time. Three chances maximum were enough for Puran, and in the very fourth game, David Malan any day deserved the chance ahead of him because he is number one for a reason. Uh, he's played some magnificent knocks for England. He has won England games. He always delivers it. But not utilizing the world's number one player was a very absurd decision in my opinion. And then giving him a chance in the last game and concluding him to be not good enough was again a huge mistake. And I wanted to see, I actually wanted to see more of Malan in the second phase as well. But seeing him replaced by Aiden Makram was like again a setback for me because honestly I wanted out Milan inside. But however, I expect some good days ahead with Markram probably delivering it for us. I'm not sure if he'll get a chance, but if he does, is he has a very sound technique, and I think that can be one of the X factors for us.
Definitely, yes. And even from my point of view, I think Adian Makram is actually quite an underrated player when it comes to T20. So lot of us might know that he captained South Africa at one point, especially when India toured there in 2018. And you might not rate him as a captain, but I think he's a great player in terms of limited overs, and not many might know about his. And plus, he also gives you those options with the ball itself. So I think that's a good prospect buy from Punjab Kings. I'm not sure if he will be a sure shot starter in that playing 11, especially ahead of Nicholas Puran, because Nicholas Puran, I think he's in a great form. So I think that's good from Punjab Kings point of view as well. So hopefully everything falls right into the place for you guys, and it is always good to see Punjab Kings playing really well. So let us now take a little some questions from the comment section. So it has been once again a lively comment section. So it is always great to interact with the comments. So let us now start off with Nicholas Puran itself. So I spoke a little bit about Nicholas Puran, but there is one interesting question from Sanna here. Will Nicholas Puran come back in the form in the second phase? So he may be in the form, but few might not be convinced about that his innings in the CPL. But according to you, Yuvraj, how crucial will Nicholas Puran be for Punjab Kings in the second phase of the IPL?
See, Puran is very, very crucial for us. If we look at our 2020 season, he was probably the most exciting batsman of our side in the entire of that Dubai season. And the kind of performances he delivered in the Emirati pitches, be it Abu Dhabi, be it Dubai, be it Sharjah, he was truly a delight to watch from the very first game until the very last. And especially, I wouldn't forget that game in Dubai where we faced Sunrisers, but we lost. But his innings were like thunderstorm, I'd say, where Bairstow scored 100, I believe, and he hit Abdul Samad for like 30 runs in an over, or 26
Yes,
or
yes.
30. Puran hit. So like that really defines the talent he carries, and in such a young age, he truly has the potential to be the future of, let alone the franchise, but also of cricket. The technique he carries, everything is truly a delight to watch. And Nicholas Puran, if he keeps on delivering, he can really win us like at least two games by himself alone.
That is actually a good point because those two
And
games
the
could
same
even
goes
prove
for
out to
Ankur.
be. Yes, Ankur, you used to ask something.
Yeah, I have a question. Yeah, what do you think? Like, if Puran does not deliver in two, three more matches of like starting matches of Punjab Kings, so do you think that the franchise will give more opportunities to him, like they did in the first leg, or like they'll replace him, or if they replace him, so which player do you think will replace him?
Yeah, I would like to see Puran from the very first game of the second half itself. I think he's someone we shouldn't really ignore as decision makers, because instead of regretting it later onwards and watching him perform, it's better to give a chance from the very first game. And I think the very first game itself is truly entertaining. We face Rajasthan, and it's a special game, really special game, and I hope we can pull off a victory in the first game.
Yes,
Yeah, to add, even in CPL, he is in good form. Like he has scored 220 plus runs and at a strike rate of 160 plus. So he is in decent form.
yes, certainly he's in decent form. So let's take some of the other questions as well. Lots of questions have been coming in the recent minutes or so. So there is one question from Abhinav Bajaj here, talking about Ishan Porel. So do you think that will Ishan Porel get a chance this year? Because he's actually a great prospective player in terms of India's point of view as well, and really loved him when he played for the Under 19 World Cup in that triumphal year for India in 2018. So what are your thoughts on Ishan Porera? Do you think he will be featuring in one of the matches?
He should. He's one of the big names of Indian domestic cricket, and he definitely should get a chance. And one more player who like does get ignored by the franchise every year, and we've been retaining him since 2019, but he hasn't played a game yet. That is Darshan Nalkande. He is a right arm fast bowler and can also bat down the order at number 7 or number 8. But I always look forward to having him in the 11, but never really gets a chance. And I think that is he, alongside Ishan Porel, are two players we are unfortunately wasting until now. They both of them should have deserved a chance at least once or twice until now.
Definitely, yes. There is one question about Mayank Agarwal from Omkar Acharya. So he's saying that Mayank Agarwal has been inconsistent. So from Punjab Kings point of view, do you think there is a slight worry about his form, or do you feel that two different formats and there is nothing to worry about his form?
Honestly, not. Mayank Agarwal does not really disappoint in the IPL, and he's been one of our key players since 2019. He is with us since 2018, but he's been one of our key batsmen since 2019, and since then until now, he's been adding a lot of value to the franchise and puts a lot of positivity. We saw it in the last game against Delhi, where he was given the responsibility of the captain in KL Rahul's absence, and the kind of knock he played was one of the most mature knocks in the history of IPL, where he scored an unbeaten 99. Deserved 100, but some 99s, as they say, are bigger than hundreds. So it was really fun watching him bat that day. Unfortunately, we lost. Had we won, we would have been in a more comfortable position by now.
Yes, definitely. Yes, I think there's always all those ifs and buts with certain teams in IPL. Even my team, Rajasthan Royals, we also retrospect about that whenever the season comes. But it's okay. I think lots of good things even to look forward to in this season. So there is one question about Fabian Allen also from Ashwin. So he's a member of the third man cricket show, Ashwin. So I really wanted to ask you about Fabian Allen because a lot was said when he was bought in the auction by Punjab Kings, and he was regarded as one of the most brilliant buys from Punjab's point of view. But we haven't seen that happening in the IPL so far. So I want to know your thoughts on what do you expect from Fabian Allen, or do you feel that he is the X factor as Ashwin is mentioning in the comments?
Fabian Allen is talented, has potential, but I'm yet to see him perform at a bigger stage until now. So I let's be honest. I was not convinced with our performance at the auction table itself. We spent like 22 crores on two Australian fast bowlers who haven't even played one game of IPL yet. Jair Richardson and Riley Meredith. Alongside them, we bought Fabian Allen, in place of whom we could have bid more for Moeen Ali while having such a big purse. So having people like Chris Morris or Tim Saudi, Moeen Ali in place of Jair Richardson, Riley Meredith, and Moeen Ali, it would have been a completely different story. So yeah, Fabian Allen, I do not see him in the 11 yet, but yes, if he plays by his potential, he surely can do wonders for us down the order as well as with the ball. But now with Harpreet Brar shining, I don't think so. He makes it to the 11.
Yes, we'll see what happens with that, and lots of questions about Sarfaraz Khan. So he was quite a star in his young days in RCB, but now since the time he actually came to Punjab Kings, we haven't seen much of him in Punjab Kings colours. And even Abhinav Bajaj is mentioning in the comments that Sarfaraz should get a chance in the playing 11. And also there was one question about Shah Rukh Khan. So let me just combine both of these questions. And from Punjab's point of view, how crucial do you think will be the role that Shah Rukh Khan plays while finishing the innings for Punjab Kings? We have seen him doing that really well in the first leg of the IPL. But do you see both Sarfaraz Khan and Shah Rukh Khan in the same level? Do you think that the combination may not work with both of them being there?
Well, I am a huge fan of Shah Rukh's batting. I've seen future in him. And if he keeps on delivering in the second phase as well, I wouldn't mind retaining him among the three retentions, even if he comes at the cost of either Mayank Agarwal or Mohammad Shami. Because had Mumbai not bagged Hardik Pandya back in the day, I think we wouldn't have got Hardik Pandya today. and I think that's what I see in Shah Rukh Khan, and he needs to be backed as much as possible because it's after such a long time that we've seen like such a hard hitting batsman coming from the Indian youth, like young players, and I think Shah Rukh Khan needs to be backed as much as possible. And yes, Sarfaraz has a lot of potential, and if we are to adjust Sarfaraz in the 11, he comes at the place of Deepak Huda, simple because he hasn't performed except the first game.
Definitely, yes. And you spoke a little bit about Mohammad Shami. So there is one question about Mohammad Shami by Ronak Kedia here. So he wants to know your thoughts on Mohammad Shami, the death bowler for Punjab Kings. Should Punjab figure out a backup? Because this question actually is even from the Indian point of view as well. So when it comes to T20 format, Mohammad Shami is like an if or a but kind of a player when it comes to India's death bowling. So from Punjab's point of view, do you think that there is a little bit of worry given the way how he balls in the death, or do you feel that there is nothing to worry with Mohammad Shami?
A little, yes, because sometimes he goes like really expensive in his quota of 4 overs, and sometimes he bowls really good, bagging 3 wickets, giving just 21 or 25 runs with an economy of six per over, five per over. So yeah, his tenure at the franchise has been bittersweet until now. Sometimes he does go expensive, but last year we saw that super over against Mumbai. I think that's the greatest IPL game we've ever witnessed, the double super over. And I think Mohammad Shami is the reason behind us to witness that game because setting a target of just 6 runs against a side like Mumbai Indians coming in with Pollard and Deacock and Rohit Sharma in the super over, defending just 6 runs is a huge feat. And I do like love Shami's inclusion in the squad. And if Shahrukh unfortunately does not deliver in the second phase, Shami is a clear cut retention for us next year.
Wow, that's actually good. So lots of questions about will Punjab Kings qualify for the playoffs? Will they win all the matches in the UAE? Considering their form has been incredible in the UAE, so we'll talk about that. So before that, we have our predicted 11 for Punjab Kings displayed. So the third man cricket shows predicted 11 is displayed here. So obviously the captain KL Rahul comes back into the 11 at the top of the order, along with Mayank Agarwal and Chris Gale. Puran will be the number three, number four. Deepak Huda, Shah Rukh Khan, the middle order specialists. I think they will be really good in that role as well. And Chris Jordan and Adil Rashid will be the two remaining overseas player to give the squad a little bit of a balance in terms of pace and spin. And the three domestic Indian bowlers in Mohammad Shami, as you rightly spoke good of, and Arshdeep Singh. I think he's a really underrated player and he has a future in him being a left arm prospect for from India's point of view. So I really rate Arshdeep Singh, the bowler. So hopefully he has a good season for Punjab Kings point of view and hopefully from an Indian point of view as well. And lastly, Ravi Bishnoi. I mean, we wanted to see him right from the start in the of this IPL, but it wasn't to be. But hopefully we see Ravi Bishnoi playing all the 7 matches for Punjab Kings. So we'll let Yuvraj you decide about your playing 11. So you saw our playing 11. So do you see any potential changes according to you regarding any overseas slot or maybe about playing an extra spinner in place of a pacer or anything like that?
My playing 11 honestly is just the same. I would only have Harpreet Brar in place of Ravi Bishnoi, which I don't want to do. But with Rashid's inclusion now, I think Ravi Bishnoi would have to sit, and Harpreet Brar, because of what he has performed with the bat as well, brings a lot of positivity to the side, confidence to the side. And I think Harpreet Brar is one of the main players who will have to play and will play as well. But if we are to adjust Adil Rashid to the side, Bishnoi will have to bench himself, and then like rest of the squad is the same from my end.
Definitely, yes. So we have already prepared Yuvraj's predicted 11 in the bottom of your screen, and already Top Cricket has given his 11. So he has Fabian Allen in that middle order, and also Aiden Makram about that. So, your thoughts, Yuvraj, on Toppic's cricket's playing 11? What do you think about his 11?
Just let me have a look. It's a good 11, honestly, but it's something that I do not believe our management will go with, because we have like 2 to 3 experiments here. Ishan Purel, Darshan Alkande, Fabian Allen, and one more guy, Aiden Markram, right? So having 3 to 4 experiments at such a crucial stage of the league where we do not have much of the games left to prove ourselves, I don't think so. The management will go with it. We'll have to stick with our basics and our core, and a mild 1 or 2 changes maximum with experienced players coming in is the only thing I look forward to. And again, the intent is the key.
Yes, you spoke rightly. Intent is the key, and we always use the word intent quite regularly when it comes to this format. So we want to see Punjab Kings playing with that intent if they want to make to the playoffs. So I think it is time to have that last segment, the biggest segment that every fan wishes not to answer, because you always have to be honest and unbiased. So Yuvraj, being keeping aside all your biasness and your love for the team, what are your thoughts on the possible chances of Punjab Kings making the playoffs?
Uh, Honestly, I do not see them qualifying because of the performances which have occurred in the first half and also the decision making. Yes, if we deliver it according to the situation, if we invoke that hunger in ourselves for victories and qualification, if management begins taking the correct decisions, I think it's surely not difficult. And also, UAE is a special place for the franchise and its history. It's somewhere we've won 5 games in a row twice in history. First in 2014 and then in 2020. So I think, yeah, fingers crossed.
Definitely, yes. Fingers crossed indeed. And it was good to see you bring that honest side about yourself. But we hope to see Punjab Kings actually making it in the playoffs. After all those years of heartbreaks, the oh so nears in the last 1 or 2 years or so, it would be really a good thing for Punjabi fans that had dreamt to see their side doing really well. And since 2014, they deserve to have this kind of a season ahead. So really, fingers crossed for you guys. Thanks, Yuvraj, for joining in. Before you actually continue with the closing, would you like to tell all our viewers about your page, the Lions Den, also known as the Punjab Kings fans official page?
Yeah. So, I began with this whole concept of initiating the original official fan club of Punjab Kings all across the globe to unite every Punjab Kings fan. Considering I couldn't see like any organized fan club of our franchise except the other 7. Like every team had its own fan club, and when I used to watch it, I thought like instead of waiting for someone to initiate one fan club for us, why not do it myself? So I began with it back in August 2020, 1 month before the 2020 season began. And within the season itself, we became a family of 5,000 followers on Instagram and like 250 followers on Twitter. And now combining all social media platforms, we are almost a family of 10,000 now. And I think it's a really proud moment for me, and all thanks to my love and passion for the franchise and the sport. I think all credits to it. And the people who have supported me from the very beginning since the outset, thank you so much to everybody.
Definitely, yes. And we actually are so grateful to have such a personality on our show. I mean, you handled all of this and you spoke that 10,000 followers combining all the social media platform. I think that actually speaks for itself. So everyone who have actually tuned in on our show, we have given the links for for the pages on social media platforms for Punjab Kings fans official, check out the description and do follow and give our friend Yuvraj your support, because I think honestly doing all this on your own, it really deserves a lot of praise. So thank you Yuvraj for sparing your time and coming on the show to chat about the team that you really love and adore, and we wish you and also your team all the very best for the season to come. And obviously it has been a great pleasure discussing about you for almost 40 minutes or so. I mean, we could have went on for hours and hours, but unfortunately we have limited time. So I think it was a great show. Thanks Ankur, thanks Mohit for being very supportive of me. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to handle this all on my own. So it was great to have Ankur speak a little bit of Punjabi and Mohit with his always valuable insights about the game. So it was really a great discussion. So, and thanks to everyone who have actually tuned in their comments. I think lots of questions were still coming in, but unfortunately we weren't able to take it. But it is always good to see a lively comment section. But before we wrap up, I would just like to make an announcement that make sure to tune in to our social media pages at exactly 8 p.m. We are going to drop the posters for tomorrow's episode, and that is going to be about the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Yes, you are right. The team that most people would like to hate, would like to love. I mean, it totally is up to you. But one thing is for sure, that team is known to be a popular choice, and we have a popular choice guest who is a part of the Royal Challengers Bangalore family and also a part of the Bharat Army representing RCB. We got Varnata representing RCB on our channel, so you don't want to miss out tomorrow at 7:45 p.m. when RCB preview goes live. So make sure to tune in and make sure to follow all the social media platform. We are the Third Man Cricket Show, and we would definitely have we do a lot more with your support and love. So just like today, how you all tuned in for our show, we would love to have you all in all the shows that we do. So thanks Yuvraj, thanks Mohit, thanks Ankur for doing this. I know there were lots of hiccups with the network connectivity, but still I think it was a great show to be a part of, and really wishing Yuvraj all the best with your page, and hopefully Punjab Kings do qualify and make you all proud.